what are some reasons why buyers might be a little stressed out right now?
Well, and a lot of these things are things that even when the market isn't the way it is, like more of a buyer's market even, I see these as things that are typical for stressing out people when they're going through the decision making of wanting to potentially buy their first home. And so, debt, being just that responsibility of taking on a mortgage can be a very big stressor. And I think that is part of the understanding what's quote good debt versus bad debt, that sort of thing. But a lot of prospective home buyers of all ages cited one of the reasons that they want to delay a home purchase would be the need to save for down payment. And that can be something that's very difficult for people to it's a balance of having enough for a down payment, but not losing opportunity because you didn't use a program that didn't require as much down payment, but maybe had a trade-off. Another stressor is people waiting for home prices to drop. Don't do that. I mean, that's
Does that happen here in Central Iowa?
That's going to be super stressful because you're going to be waiting a long time, and then your rent's going to keep going up. Another, avoiding debt, like we touched on. Inability to decide on preferred locale. I do see that as a stressor for first-time home buyers a lot. We do have, when we go through a consultation process with a new buyer, we talk about lifestyle and what are their considerations for location. And a lot of times it's important to us to give suggestions on locations that they might not have even considered so that they have more options available. But sometimes that can create the, oh my gosh, I'm going to look at every home that hits the market from Polk City to Milo. No, I went even further south.
Oh yeah.
And then, it can sometimes be if you're oh, I really I want to take advantage of a program like USDA financing. That's 100% financing, but it needs to be in smaller communities, communities less than 15,000 people. So you can really spread out your search when that happens. But yeah, that whole difficulty in making a decision, that definitely can be a stressor. Uncertainty on whether to buy a house at all. Sometimes I see that with couples that are not married that that make that decision to buy a house. And then you can kind of start seeing I don't know if I really want to make this commitment with this person.
Or it's like real estate makes it just as real as if you were exchanging vows.
Well, because there's a whole legal component there.
Yeah.
And there definitely needs to be a plan of what's going to happen to that real estate if you are no longer together. Uncertainty over the home type, should I do a townhome? Should I do a single family home? Things like that. Those are definitely things to consider. Not wanting the added responsibility.
Oh, that's a real thing.
It is.
Gosh, I was going to go on vacation, but the water heater's busted, and guess who's paying for it?
Right. Yes. I mean, that is something to definitely consider, that if you can't afford doing maintenance on a property, it can be difficult.
The inability to find a home.
And oh my gosh, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that they haven't been given the strategy needed to get into that right home too. So part of that is just the guidance that's given to them.
And then don't want to give up mobility.
I want to be able to pick up and leave whenever. I don't know. I mean, I think, though, someone who that level of mobility, I don't want to be locked into anything. If you're on a month-to-month lease, you're paying a premium for where you live.
Right.
And sometimes just kind of thinking through all that. I think a lot of times when someone hasn't owned a home before, they just do not understand. They don't have that frame of reference of the financial advantages. At this time right now when we're getting ready to do our taxes, right? Of the financial advantages of having that deduction and all of those different benefits that come from it, and how that outweighs some of those more psychological fears.